Yo, what's up guys, welcome back. So, first match, Cross-Banlist Cup 2022. Let's take a look, let's zoom in. We have the first matchup right here in Group A. So, the upper part, right, the Yugioh part, the more balanced decks, even though most of them aren't really balanced, but you know what I mean, compared to the more stronger, decks in the bottom part. So, the first two decks, interesting matchup, we have an FTK, Frog FTK versus Dark World Turbo. The first deck list you see here is of course Frog FTK. This should be Rodrigo Togores' list from, I believe, the European Championship back in 2010. Speaks for itself, right? Frog FTK siding in, smoke screening, side taking into a Frog Monarch deck, almost with Light and Darkness Dragon, Cyber Dragon for aggressiveness, and so on. For the Dark World tech list, a couple of options, but I eventually went with this one still. Benedict Junk's deck list from, who was it? Shonen Jump / YCS Chicago? Can't remember. Second place, if I remember correctly. So Frog FTK goes first. I go first, and not the best hands. The thing is that Frog FTK, it's quite of a consistent deck. It's one of the most consistent FTKs ever, but it was also during a format where, 2010, where there weren't too many hand traps. Like DD Crow was obviously very good. The deck was very consistent. The thing is that you want to have Substitute on the field as soon as possible. It's not once per turn, so you can keep tributing any monster on your side of the field to special summon a frog from your deck. So, and that's something. It's that something that I personally overlooked is that years ago, Swap Frog got an errata, like a card update, and it was switched to its bouncing effect from the field back to the hand. You can only use it once per turn, and it counts for every Swap Frog name, right? And that's a bummer, because for now, here on Yugioh, I can't use Swap Frog's old school effect. And that's important, because, like, as you see, the deck is running hand destruction, and like standard, you do this Substitute to special summon multiple frogs from the deck, use Ronin Totem to keep reborning itself, because it's also not once per turn, and then go for 3 Swap Frog, bounce all of them back to the hand. So you want to keep those in your hand as well, and eventually maybe use the extra normal summon for from the Swap Frog for whatever, Dupe Frog, Unifrog for potential damage plus spell and trap destruction against your opponent. But that small play is not I can't use that for now here on Yugioh. It's a small hinder, but it does hinder the consistency and speed of frogs as a whole by a small margin, but it is what it is. So I get up the Dupe Frog lock, get up 2 Dupe Frog, preferably in defense position. Doesn't really matter too much, because your opponent can't attack you, because again, like what Dupe Frog states, that your opponent has to attack it, and if you control 2, your opponent can't attack at all. And it's basically the case that, okay, let's say if your Mass Driver FTK shenanigans doesn't work, you could still go for your Dupe Frog lock, maybe with Substitute for some extra battle protection as well, and then go for like the grind game with Flip Flop Frog and Unifrog to get some small damage here and there, and eventually potentially go for game with the Synchro package, because that's in here as well with Fishborg. But I wasn't able to take out my opponent. There was no Fishborg Blaster in the graveyard. It was a couple of cards short, but I accepted the I mean, there weren't really any hand traps, right? That's especially here in game number 1. But it is what it is. So, okay, I have to recover. Side tech, but I don't think I side teched something in, because again, I go first, so there is no reason to side tech in Brain Control or Light and Darkness Dragon, right? Because again, if I go first, I always want to go for, or at least try to go for the Mass Driver FTK. So Substitute, that's fine, I guess, but no draw cards, so no Mirror of Greed, no hand destruction. That's a bummer, because my only play here... Oh no, I do have Fishborg. Yeah, okay, that's cool, because I can go for a sweet lock. That's first of all Stardust Dragon, which is fantastic against Dark World, even though Stardust only has 2500 attack. Doesn't really matter too much because of the frogs, right? Again, I can put up the dupe frog lock together with, again, I went for Brionac as well, just in case. I don't think I need to fear Mind Control or Brain Control or something like that, so my Brionac is safe. So what I was saying is that I think only Krafa is able to destroy my setup, but, you know, Stardust is there. Torrential Tribute, the one you see here. And that's it. Well, bar, of course, an extra deck, but again, double Dupe Frog prevents my opponent from attacking, and this is well, it's not really game, but not wanting to waste time, I guess, because again, Stardust is able to negate Torrential Tribute, and I can just, you know, go for some damage, not lethal damage, but this lock is very hard to break. Okay, that's cool. So again, post side deck, I go second. So I side decked in my Monarch engine, you know, I believe Brain Control, double Light and Darkness Dragon, Quick Draw Synchron as well for some synchro shenanigans, and I side decked out the FTK package because, I mean, as you see, like all of those sets, we know or saw, it's I believe it's double Mystical Space Typhoon, right? But the thing is that this is cool, is that, again, Substitute not being once per turn, and the opponent having 3 sets. So I'm definitely going to capitalize on that, and eventually after some Substitute shenanigans, I'm going to end on triple Unifrog. And Unifrog states that it can attack directly, and when Unifrog, deals damage, not sure about the correct thing, I think so, or, you know, attacks directly, it destroys an opponent's spell and trap. So I can destroy all 3, but, you know, we could like telegraph the potential set Morphing Jar here as well, and I don't think I had any outs for that. So I eventually opt to go for, I should probably be going for like 2 or 3 dupes, maybe even leave the Substitute in attack position. Well, Substitute also has a beneficial effect that none of your frogs can be destroyed by battle. Other than, Frog the Gem, but it doesn't matter. So if you have like double dupe, the flip-flop frog to, you know, get some control, Unifrog for more damage, and potentially spell and trap destruction plus Substitute, that's a very hard to break lock, unless of course multiple Grafa and so on. Oh, okay, yeah, I did side deck in Heavy Storm as well, so that's going to be fantastic in a couple of moments. So I don't think a rank 8 is going to hit the board. No, but Dark Arm Dragon is there. Okay, so Dark Arm is definitely able to break the board, getting rid of those dupes. I'm still at a comfortable amount of life points. You know, 10k is always nice, and you see that, you know, double Mind Crush, Dust Tornado, Mystical Space Typhoon. Yeah, obviously, you're going to set that, but nope, blow him away with Heavy Storm eventually. Up. I mean, Mind Crush, that's fine. I'm going to lose, Swap Frog and Uni, I believe. It's cool though. So get out Ronin Totem, you know, Substitute as well, thin the deck again. And I'm not sure, there is no option for me to Synchro Summon other than, you know, Quick Draw Synchron, going for Turbo Warrior, which is basically just a big beat stick for now. And this is cool. We know that at least one of the cards in hand over there is the Dark Arm Dragon, which is not live. And that's, you know, this is why Light and Darkness Dragon back in the old school days was so powerful. Your opponent had to waste cards, or if your opponent knew how to play around it, like your Light and Darkness Dragon is always forced to negate the first card being activated. So let's say your opponent activating Upstart, and then them chaining Book of Moon, for example, to put Light and Darkness Dragon face down. That's, you know, possible. So anyway, game number 4, and I go second. So again, I keep the Tribute engine, you know, in the deck. Brain Control, Light and Darkness Dragon, Quick Draw. This opening hand is it's decent, not the best, but immediately get blown away by the Eradicator. So I'll lose all the spells, and that's a problem. Flip-flop does activate, sending back Krafa, but not the best. But it's not looking too great, so draw another Light and Darkness. Nope, that's not something you want, but... so the set, that's obviously a Morphing Jar, so that might be a save for me. Draw Salvage, nope, that's not going to help. But the thing is that Eradicator is now gone. Okay, so I still have a potential chance. So then again, if I, survive this, right? So another Grafa hits the field, Mind Crush hits Substitute up like a boss. Must mean, I mean, you could activate, that's the thing with Mind Crush, right? You could Mind Crush, call Winged Dragon of Ra, and then your opponent is forced to discard a card from your hand. But if it hits a Dark World, your Dark World will just trigger, so whatever. But I mean, calling Substitute, yeah, whatever. Another virus. I got blown away by Eradicator and got blown away by the, what is it called? Deck Devastation, yeah. But I can make a comeback, thanks to 1-for-1. So, okay, I'm still in the duel. Substitute again, thinning my deck and basically ending on a sweet and delicious lock. So, all of the sets, I should be going probably for a couple of Unifrogs, paired up with, I believe, probably double Dupe Frog, and maybe the Substitute as well, something like that. But first of all, mainly the 2 or 3, probably 3 Unifrogs to go into the battle phase and try to attack, right? I want to destroy the back row with those Unifrogs. So again, yeah, the standard board Death Frog is basically a level 5 synchro. Oh, okay. Mirror Force, yeah, for the potential Mirror Force, right? Yeah, we know it could potentially be there, and for Dust Tornado, Mystical Space Typhoon, and so on, and of course Grafa. Going for Stardust is always fantastic against Dark World. So triple Uni, no, double Uni. Okay, small bummer. So I'm eventually able to destroy 2. Yeah. So I have some protection with the Stardust Dragon as well. And double, yeah, no, 1 dupe, that's fine, but again, your opponent is forced to attack Dupe Frog, but again, it's, it can't be destroyed by battle because of Substitute, right? So this board, it's actually very good, but there, at least for Dark Worlds, there are outs, so I, kind of need to hope that another level 8 on the field is not going to hit the board. And the Dark Creator back in the old school days was a cute card, but this, it's not really being capitalized because of the frog. The Dark Creator states that you can't control any other monsters, and it's not that I'm attacking the opponent's monsters here in this situation. So Unifrog destroying the back row, hitting Dark Smog. Dark Smog is like a DD Crow once per turn, but you need to discard. It's I think a Fiend type, right? A Dark World or Fiend type. Yeah, I think it's a Fiend type. But it's not going to matter. I'm super low on life points, and the problem here is that another Grafa is going to hit the board, and I personally overlooked Felgrand. Felgrand is going to negate the Substitute, so now Dupe Frog can be destroyed by battle, and now I'm going to lose the last life point. So this one was really close, but it is what it is. Okay, again, number 5, and again, I side deck in back my FTK package, and delicious hand here. There is no way to search Substitute other than this combo of special summoning, swap frog, discarding, and any frog, whatever, send Substitute, and use Salvage to get Substitute back to my hand, and I can capitalize on that, and eventually I'm going to flash the Mass Driver, and yep, GG, well played. So that's an FTK for you. So it is what it is. So Frog FTK does take the 3 points over Dark World. It was a really close one, but I mean, that's the FTK package, right? So next matchup, we have Teledat versus Macro Rabbit. So 4 years the difference between both these deck lists. So again, like always, feel free to leave your predictions. Okay, that was the first one, guys. That's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Beat them signing out. Peace.